I think are very noble accomplishments on the part of this community. But while some things change, some things never change. Dude still only needs one name. I still can't say Ule to his satisfaction. John Todd is still the king of tie-dye. Allison Smith is still the asterisk fashionista. Mark Spencer is still wearing that same Kill Bill t-shirt. And Microsoft is still, well, Microsoft. One of the great things about being associated with Digium and Asterisk is we get to work with some of the world's greatest companies. And over the past year, we have been forming a partnership with IBM, who is truly a great supporter of open source, great software innovator of their own, a great supporter of Asterisk. And in April of 2009, Sam Palzamo and Eric Schmidt stood on stage at IBM Partner World and announced the creation of a new integration framework that resulted in the launch of the IBM Smart Cube and the IBM Smart Market in May of 2009. It is both a platform and a marketplace, a platform upon which you can run applications and a marketplace through which you can source applications to be able to run your small and medium-sized business. And today, we are officially announcing the launch of Asterisk for IBM Smart Business. With us today to tell us more about IBM Smart Business is Mike Smith. Mike is a distinguished engineer whose current job is CTO for the integrated IBM Smart Business platform. And in this role, Mike is responsible for the overall technical strategy of Smart Business and leading the software development teams for Smart Business. Mike is leading the partnerships and new software business opportunities, including completed partnerships with Zen, Databoro, IBI, and MySQL. In previous responsibilities, Mike was the lead for the i5OS, the SMB Chief Software Architect, and responsible for software strategy and plan for i5OS. Prior to that, he led ERP developments within IBM for the AS400. He was responsible for the Bond ERP port, as well as the SAP R3 port. He was the lead software architect and has been the lead software architect for i5OS since 2002. He's a 1986 computer science graduate from Michigan Technological University and holds a MBA 2004 from the esteemed Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. Help me give a big asterisk welcome to Mike Smith.
Morning, thanks. I got in late enough. I was not subjected to the bowl, which is probably good for all of us. So let me tell you a little bit about what is being announced today with Asterisk on IBM Smart Business. Like Danny said, what we were trying to accomplish was to really relook at how we're delivering IT services to small and medium companies. So we wanted to completely take away IT, make it invisible, make it simple, and as part of that, we revisited the entire experience along how customers find IT, how they obtain IT, how they manage IT, and how they expand and grow their capabilities. And we'll get into a little bit as to how that is done as part of the platform and the marketplace, and that's what's being announced today with Digium, is the exploitation of that platform and that marketplace to bring that to market. So what is it? At the highest level, what we're doing is we're first bringing to market an application-led message. So when you hear us talk about the Smart Business platform, you're not going to hear us talk about a bunch of technology like IBM usually does. You're going to hear us talk about applications and what those applications might do for your business. And as part of that, we've built in an integrated platform that I'll show you on the next page that has the things that you have to worry about in IT as a business built into the box so that you don't have to worry about it. And it's always connected back to a web-delivered component so that you don't have to worry about the maintenance and the long-term patches and updates and things like that. The system will take care of itself based on what applications you have installed. One of the most key value propositions that we've brought as part of this offering is a single point of contact. As we did our market research back 3 years ago, one of the complaints that we heard a lot from the small and medium businesses is when something breaks, they don't know what broke and who even to call. So one of the key things that you'll see in this platform is the ability for the system to put in its own autonomics, its own wizards for gathering problem determination information, problem reporting information, and that enables IBM to be the one place to call for hardware, software, services, and the third-party applications that are built onto the platform, including Digium. And I'll show you what that means later and how you could take advantage of that. Just one quick proof point as to what we think we've accomplished in terms of simplification. One of the things that we do as part of the platform is it's delivered from the factory with all the middleware and security and that kind of stuff pre-installed, ready to go and turn on. And as soon as you turn it on, it finishes configuring itself based on what applications are supposed to be running on that server. If we look at just the raw volume of things that you would have had to do this by yourself, it's 17 modules that represent 1,600 pages, and we've got it down to a quick start poster. The other thing that the platform is built for is growth. And what I mean by that is it's all application-led, but as a small and medium business figures out what additional capabilities they need, the Smart Market then is the place where you could go and find those additional applications, automatically obtain them, get them down to the system, and manage them from there. So one level of detail on what the Smart Business is. It's 3 integrated components, and I'll show you a little bit on each one of them. The Smart Market is our online presence. You could get to it by going to ibm.com/B is a shortcut for it. And your entry point into that is just what applications are available and instrumented to this platform that I'll show you that deliver this seamless IT experience. There's a specific methodology that's needed in order to what we call instrument the applications to fit into this kind of management style. The second component of Smart Business is the Smart Cube itself. This is the a traditional integrated server delivered from the factory, like I said, with all the middleware, the gateway back to the Smart Market, the security components, the backup components, really truly set up to be turnkey and ready to go. It connects back to the Smart Market for some things I'll show you in a couple of pages that have to do with how the health of the system is doing, how the capacity planning of the system is going. If you're downloading more applications, does the system have enough space for it, or do we need to recommend an upgrade, a second server, things like that. The third aspect of the Smart Business is what we call the Smart Desk, and this is just your client into the overall platform. It contains both a knowledge worker interface and an administrator interface where it puts together everything from the Smart Market and the Smart Cube into one dashboard or one user programs catalog where I can find everything that is available to me as an individual user or administrator of a Smart Business installation. Just one more level of detail on each one of those in terms of what's in them. In the Smart Market, this is like I said, it's our marketplace for the listing of solutions and services. It's a self-nomination kind of marketplace, so as a provider, and I'll show you how to do this later, as a provider of software services, you can go to the Smart Market, nominate an application, get it instrumented to the platform, and make it available for sale through the IBM Smart Market with those benefits that I told you on the first page in terms of simplicity, single throat to choke for support, and so on. There is a community aspect to this website. The community aspect, as I'll show you, is very deeply embedded into our problem determination and problem resolution kind of aspects. So as the community collaborates around the traditional social networking kinds of things, that's integrated into how problems are reported and resolved such that customers can help themselves without having necessarily to get IBM or a third-party ISV into place. There is the capability as part of the instrumentation that I'll tell you about to have both on-site and off-site applications dealt in an identical fashion, meaning from a Smart Desk standpoint, if I look at an individual application, it may be running on one or many of my on-premise Smart Cubes, or it may be delivered as a software as a service kind of model as well. And the management aspects, again, which I'll show you in a couple of pages, are identical for what you're doing as a software as a service application or a locally installed application. The Smart Market also provides for what we call managed inventory and the remote operations that's associated with that. And what the managed inventory, this is really key to the insights that we have for the ISVs and the resellers about the knowledge of the platform. But for every Smart Cube that's out there, we know where it is, we know what's installed on it, We know what the service terms that are associated with it. We know who the VAR is. We know who the ISVs are. And we make that available to the VARs and ISVs, as you can see at the bottom, into custom views so that the ISVs and VARs can have better service for their end customers. So, for example, as a VAR, I can know, who all my customers are, what the status and health of their machines are, what kind of applications are installed, and what kind of applications I should be recommending that they don't have installed yet. This is just a picture of the entry point for the smart market. So you can see typical landing site with the marketplace, the community, some information about smart business itself, and then the entry point for the post-sale support. And as Danny said, we've got Asterisk for the Smart Cube that's announced today as one of the key offerings that you'll find out into that marketplace. This is a drill down one level from that main page, and from here you can see at the very bottom of the page the various things that I can get about additional information about the application, and then work with IBM to obtain a hardware, software services, and the application all in one transaction with IBM. The second thing that was part of the Smart Business Platform was the Smart Cube, and this is what all is made up in the Smart Cube. Like I said, it was hardware, software, services, all bundled into one price. At the bottom, there's a server, of course. We do support actually 2 operating systems and two hardware models, both in the x86 and the Power space. The OS is SLES or IBM i. The next layer up is where things start to get really interesting. The next layer up, what it represents is one of the burdens that we wanted to take from the customer and from the ISV is what is the combination of things that I need to have installed in order to make an application work? What version of DB2 or Apache and so on? So what we've done is we've taken a set of the application containers that you see here and pre-tested, pre-optimized, pre-integrated them together, and that's all delivered from the factory. So as a ISV, and you can see an example of some of the partners at the top, you don't have to worry about what kind of middleware might be there. It's a very predictable, managed approach to what those application containers are. Security is built in. We've got the world-class Proventia network security, firewall detection, intrusion prevention detection built into the cube. And as an optional add-on, there's also an edge of the network appliance that's available as well. The backup and recovery is also built in, pre-integrated, pre-set up, such that if you turn it on, you got disk-to-disk backups done already without any intervention. And there's also an option for a remote data protection service for an online backup. Now, the thing that makes this different is instead of just bundling all these things together and dropping them into a server, we've put together, the integration framework. And the integration framework, which I'll introduce to you in a couple of charts, is the key that says all that complexity of that technology is hidden from the user.